Hello, so this is the first video of the new series and the very first series, and yeah, all that good jazz. So honestly, no idea what I'm doing, but thought, hey ho, I need some direction, so I'm gonna start doing this. So what we're first gonna do is we're gonna look through the whole collection. Well, it's not the whole collection, but it's the main collection. So first, the red binder. And this is better bulk, is probably the best way to describe it. So, as we can see, it's just some V-Stars, EXs. We'll go through all this. There's nothing particularly special in here. There is some older cards, but very few of them. And the further back we go, the more modern we do become. We went through Megas. Did quite a bit of Shrouded Fable. And then, yeah, just recently did the Charizard box. Comes with the statue. And then at the back, got trainers. So, got some nice trainers there. So, I did used to collect many years ago. I actually went back through things. It was about 2018. And then, you know, life happens. And I ended up giving a lot of the collection to the kids, to which then eventually has become lost, which is when I started going back through emails and purchase histories and all that. Yeah, it's quite upsetting, but it is what it is. So then moving on, we've got the big boy photo. Why so salty? I used to be a big Magic the Gathering player. Went to events and everything else like that. Used to love it, but fully came out of that. It's in the big boy folder. So, say that, I've seen kids with better folders than, yeah, a lot of adults and all that stuff. But it is a kid's hobby, and I do really encourage, you know, my kids in towards a hobby. Don't restrict them if I can help it and all that, but it's also not a cheap hobby. So, nothing particularly special in the first couple of pages. As we're going through, eventually we start getting to some more recognisable stuff. A lot of 151, Crown Zenith, Paldean Fates, and then, yeah, we've got quite a large page here. Obviously, I did quite well with Destined Rivals. I am still looking for the Ethan's Ho-Ho. Did buy these two cards. My lad really wanted them. And the Bubble Mew is also bought. We didn't manage to pull that one. We have pulled everything else that's on this page. That one was, I think, with a lot of collectors these days, we did a lot of, I say we, like my lad did it, no, me. Did a few Whatnot streams, as in buying off Whatnot. And that actually came from a free pack, because I didn't hit anything. I think that's a standard story. The Blastoise and the Charizard from Shining Fates, funnily enough, we actually, pulled in the same day. Just pulled 2 packs out from a local card shop as I was chatting to the owner, really nice bloke. Opened both packs and got one of each, so really well. Absolutely love that Zacian V. Stunning card. And as we go through, it quietens down a little bit again, and then we do pick back up very shortly. I love that Gardevoir, one of my favourite Pokemon, completely. Got the Urshifu's, Pikachu, Sleeping Mew, Mew being another one of my favourite Pokemon. But yeah, what got me back into this hobby myself was the artwork. It's just, I do appreciate the nostalgic feel from when I was younger, but current artwork is uncomparable personally to me. And like this page is just, yeah, this is specifically chased a lot of these Obviously that's from the UPC. I've never had the UPC, but I did buy 2 of the 3 promos. I still do want the other one, but priority buying in a couple of the other cards. And then obviously Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies has got to be something that I possibly want to take further, but it's obviously ridiculously expensive. But as you'll see, I've got quite a selection from their cards. That Zapdos from 151 is just, favourite card, one of. And I love the artworks where, I think a lot of people state this, but where they go together. So like the Electrovie and the Magmortar, obviously it's connecting in its own way. New promo. So I've also not opened this UPC. However, as I'll show you shortly, I have got one sealed. But there's a story into that. Let's go through. This is one of my personal chases. You can actually see that. Absolutely wanted this card for years, and then eventually I just turned around and I was just like, yeah, I'm getting it. Unfortunately, I am in a situation where I can do that kind of stuff, but I'm going to use this channel as a way to start addressing how I'm going to start going about collecting, because regardless if you got the money for it, justifying the money for it consistently month in, month out is not there. So I want to try new approaches. I want to see if anybody else has got any opinions on this. The Mega Evolution set treated me beautifully. The only card on the page from Mega Evolution which I did not pull is the Ivysaur, to which I bought. But everything else, and that was from, to be fair, I did go quite heavy on that. That's 2 ETBs and 2 booster boxes. But that was mainly because I wanted the Gardevoir. It isn't centered, but beautiful card nonetheless. I actually pulled that from a Hidden Fates ETB, along with the obviously the glass birds that you get with the thing, and the Zapdos, and also the trainer card that we saw before. My son's big into Calyrex, the Ice Rider and the Shadow Rider. Absolutely loves them. And the Bubble Mew, the Arceus. We did open that box. He got it for Christmas. And then he also got the Umbreon VMAX in a pack from a collection box he got for Christmas. And we got the Gouging Fire literally yesterday from a tin. I'm not sure if the reflections on this is going to be awful or not. I do apologise. But it is first ever video that I've made for this. This is more my son's. He loves the Rainbow Rares. Absolutely obsessed with them. He wanted this, and it's, I mean, we share binders obviously, but this is what he wants in, what he wants in. He pulled that on Christmas Day as well. And then all his gold cards, which he absolutely goes crazy for. So that's that binder. And then following from that, one of my personal things that I'm doing is a Pokédex binder, which is rough going. So I'm near done. I think I've got about 30 odd cards left to do. I'm waiting for a parcel to come through with more cards, but now it's just a process of, I am going to start upgrading this all to IRs, SIRs, or the better EXs. Just the version of the cards that I would prefer more than anything else like that. So that's another one of those Pikachus. There is some Korean and Japanese in here, but they will be getting taken out. I do not want to keep collecting Korean or Japanese. I know the card quality is better with Japanese, but it's just not what I want. Recently picked up the Rapidash. But yeah, there's a getting on nicely with this. Starting to slowly switch out all the cards for IRs. You'll see my horrible numbering system, but I have to keep number tags at some point. This Fraligator is actually still sealed. So this is from the illustration contest, and it has got the Yawning Pikachu. Originally that was bought because I wanted to take the Yawning Pikachu out and I wanted to set it off for grading, and then I wanted to look into the aspects of picking up cards to get them graded to then sell on, so that I can make this a self-sustaining hobby. As you can see, where I've got IRs, I have taken out the cards because I don't want to create any damage towards them. That's not the Houndoom that I want the Shrouded Fable one, but I haven't been able to pull it. It does eventually get to a point where I'm just like, right, okay, no, enough's enough. Opened enough of that set. Love that Magby. But yeah, I'm not going to open anymore. Love that Lugia as well. Got two of them. A problem with a lot of these is my lad also loves the IRs, SIRs. So he doesn't really want me to put them in my binder. He wants to share them. I want the Johnny artwork for the Plusle and the Minim. That's the easiest one. And obviously the Vibrava and Flygon look like they really go together. Absolutely stunning. Swablu. I need the Altaria that goes with it. But it's just, like I said, even if you look at cards consistently and you're looking at 2, 3, I've just bought the Lunatone and Solrock, the Crown Zenith one, the Glaring Gallery, but I'm waiting for them to still show up. But like the Snorunt IR isn't an overly expensive card, but it's a justification of getting it, because no matter what, you can't get away from the fact of you are still spending and there's no incoming from it. Love that Bidoof. And the Grottle. But yeah. So going through a lot of noticeable gaps. I think my biggest area where I'm weakest in collection is my Ultra Beasts. And that's just because of when I started coming back into the hobby, it was starting to go out of circulation with them. And then they've not really been heavily printed since that, because the grill's amazing. So going forward, Cowblast, beautiful card. My daughter's favourite card. She's obsessed with ducks. But, you know, it's nice. It is a very beautiful card, and there isn't a lot of cards that I can honestly say that I don't like anymore. But I am starting to get the biased opinion now of I want full arts. I don't mind 2/3 arts. That Vivleon. That is, yeah, absolutely beautiful card. And eventually this will hold all my personal favourites, like all the gold cards from Crown Zenith are probably going to go into here. One of my Evolving Size Skies, Sylveon, will probably come into here. Love that Hooper card. That's Crown Zenith as well. And Crown Zenith is the set that's actually brought me back into it. Absolutely love that set. That was just, yeah, that felt great opening that set. I don't think there was ever a bad set of cards that I opened with that. I got really disappointed with Phantasmal Flames. I've not hit anything. We've got the Sharpedo. I don't think anybody really likes Sharpedo, but, you know, it is what it is. But from all the other hits, didn't hit anything at all. I spent quite a nice sum on that as well. I keep looking at Flapple, thinking that I still need it. Obviously don't. But yeah, more Korean. So as we keep going through, love that Alcremie. I want the Ice Cube where they're stood in the fridge. I don't think you can beat that. Crocodile, need to get that line. Reggie Drago with the Lugia in the background. Absolutely stunning card. So I have got some personal chase cards. I will show some of them off that I have got already, but a lot of them are alt arts. And I would eventually like to get to a point where I've collected most, if not all, the alt arts, but that is a extremely long journey, especially because I would like them slabbed, which is an ask and a half. that Caridon is the one that I want to swap out for the one that's in the other binder, but got to negotiate with the buyer, which means I've probably got to buy another one, and then that can just go in my folder. And that's the end of that. Absolutely nothing at the end, but we will be getting more Pokemon eventually. So that's the Pokedex binder. That's also my light that's just fallen over. So, moving on, we've then got my minor slabs. So, Misty Psyduck, absolute stunning card. I do really love this card, but I've recently just put this up on eBay. Like I said, I do want this hobby to come self-circulating. I know of ways, and I have done ways where I've been able to do this, but it's not sustainable. I don't like keeping sealed product. I like opening product. We'll be doing some of that after as well. Following from that, I got the Twilight Masquerade Greninja. Greninja is my favourite Pokemon. However, sorry for the coughing, I have opened so many packs to try and get this. Not succeeded. So I did cave. Got it in a, obviously, 9. And that is obviously because of cost. Lost Origins Giratina. Once again, another stunning card. This was a personal chase, and I do absolutely love this card. Can't say anything wrong. And that was how this came about. Was I literally went into the shop, gave my list to the owner, where he's got a list of cards that I am chasing, where the minimum I want is a 9, best one is a 10, but obviously it all depends on affordability. I have got a lot of trade value I can do, especially for cards that I really want, but, you know, give and take. I was able to get this for about 500 cash. He literally messaged me, sent me a picture of it, and I was just like, on the way. Bought it same day. And the Rayquaza VMAX Evolving Skies. This is an absolute beautiful card. Once again in 9, there's no way I'm affording this in a 10. I would eventually like to get them all up to 10s, and quite honestly I will be able to at some point, but I want to do it ergonomically. I want to be able to find ways of making money in the hobby. So one of the only sealed products I've got left is 151 UPC. It's in great condition, apart from, and it came like this. There is a slight crease there, a slight divot. It looks like something's been pushed against it too hard, just in the corner, which really upsets my life. I've got this up for sale on eBay because, like I said, I've got limits on how much I'm willing to spend. Obviously, it's quite a lot of money I'm willing to spend, but eventually I want to stop doing that, and I want to try and recycle to renew. And finally, I've got my Mega Charizard EX UPC. This is a hard one, because I do want to open this, like, badly, but my lad's not here, and he also wants to open it. So I do think it's going to come to the point where we will probably leave it for today, but I will open it with him. So in regards to the channel, I have no idea where I want to go with it, what I want to do with it, how I want to do it, or anything else like that. I am completely new to this, but I want to try it. I'm actually hoping for accountability. So if I say I'm going to do something, I want to be called out on the bullshit if I don't do it. You know, make my life harder for myself, why not? And go from there. And at the minute, I'll be honest, I don't know where I want to go or what I want to do. I keep toying with the idea of master sets, and then I keep toying with, well, why am I collecting? I'm collecting for the art, not the whole art. I mean, there's so many beautiful cards in this collection hobby now, but do I want to go down the route of master sets? Because if I am, I've got a lot of heavy hitting cards which will make collecting the master sets easier, but then it's got to diversify away from my National Dex binder, my Lads binder, and will probably mean in a lot of cases I'm collecting 3 of one card. And then if it's an alt art from older sets, like any Evolving Skies really, it's got to be a case of, I will then also need to get it as a slab. So, yeah, it's going to get pricey. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not adverse to selling product. And by product, I mean as a whole. Like, I've got obviously my Misty Psyduck up for sale. I've got my 151 UPC up for sale. The 151 UPC really hurt me in the regards of I really wanted to open it, but I left it for so long now that it's gotten to the point of I can't open it because it's such a waste of what I can reinvest back into opening more product, because I do just want to open. So I'm a bit like, what do I do about this? So obviously I've managed to luckily do the pre-orders on Poke Center for Ascended Heroes. So I've managed to get 2 ETBs, and then additionally from a local shop I've managed to get 1 of every product that he's getting in. And so far that's costing me nearly 300 quid. And that's just the start. I do plan on collecting quite heavily into Ascended Heroes. Looking at that set, it is really reminding me of Crown Zenith. And I'm hoping it's going to be just as good. The feeling of ripping, how you always, might not be a top card, but you always seem to get something. And that's what I want. Absolutely love that. Makes me sound like an absolute gambling addict. However, it is what it is. And that is what I love about the hobby. But my main joy from the hobby is, this is something me and my lad do. We've got a number of binders, and we are building our collections as we go through. And yeah, from that, that's where I want to go. So it's the first video. It's not going to be very good. I do apologise. Don't expect really anybody to watch it. Probably me about 5-6 times going, ugh, what's that? Ugh. But we'll get there. I'll do more and more videos, improve more and more as we go on, and hopefully it gets better. Thank you.